why isn't everyone talking about this? The Campsite Reserve 26CJ was one of the hottest selling floor plans at Hershey last year, and I honestly think that's going to continue this year. And it all starts right here in the kitchen for me. So right off the bat, you'll see thermoformed countertops, which are going to be kind of right in that middle price point, right? It's going to be nicer than T-mold, not quite solid surface, but nice and light, which is always a big deal when you're talking about towing a family camper. You'll also see that you have a high-rise faucet, kind of has the spring built in. And then over to the side, this is something that I've never really seen in this price point, and that's a glass rinser. I know it may seem like something minor, but as someone who likes to entertain, I think that's an awesome feature. You also see it comes with a cutting board. It also comes with a drying rack. Of course, because the thermoformed counters allowed us to undermount that stainless steel sink. Now, you have an electrical outlet right over to the side here, built into kind of like this elevated countertop space. And then you have prep space over here, and then over to the side is going to be the recessed 3-burner cooktop with not only a microwave underneath, but this is also an air fryer, which is really cool to have in a travel trailer. Some additional storage comes in the form of drawers right over to the side. You can see that these are nice and deep as well. I mean, just look how much stuff we're able to stuff down in here. And this right here, yep, that's right. That is going to be a wrench for your water filter, because this one comes with a water filtration system, which again is almost unheard of at this price point. Underneath the sink, hey, there it is. See, there's your water filter right there. You can also see, as I mentioned, right over to the side here is that drying rack. But again, having this, I think, is just a great feature. Folks, you never know what you're hooking up to, what kind of water you're going to get. A water filter is almost a must, in my opinion. Something that I think really kind of makes this one stand out is the window. Take a look at the size of this kitchen window. I mean, this is what I want. I'm able to see out to my campsite, let in all the natural light. You can see you kind of have like this shadow box up top, or this light box here. Then you have some spots if you want to hang pots and pans, or more likely like mugs, which would be super cute. You have the ability to do that right over there. And then to the side, look at this. This is a 10.7 cubic foot fridge freezer, so you have a lot of cold storage as well. And I know you may be thinking, okay, Ian, that's great, but I'm still missing some storage because, you know, we went with the light box. And you'd be right, but they accounted for that. Take a look at this. As soon as you walk in, you get this huge pantry right here, which is great. So you have all of your dry goods, or if you want to put, you know, plates and cups and bowls and stuff, you have a spot for that. Also, when you walk in, you have a spot for a trash can, a dedicated place for it. And you will see over to the side, you have storage for shoes. You will notice that there aren't any vents in the floor in here, right? They've placed them in the furniture to help keep things a little bit cleaner. But just in case you don't have quite enough kitchen storage, well, behind this huge entertainment center right here with, you know, the TV and the little shelf plus the fireplace, if I undo the safety latch, take a look at that. Even more storage. So they've done a great job by giving you bigger window space, and they still provide a ton of storage in here, which again, I think is a big reason of why this one is so incredibly popular. Now, along with the TV, if you want to listen to music, you have the option to do that. The multimedia center is right here. It's going to be Bluetooth, so you can connect to that and be able to play the music. So we talked about that great entertainment center, but you're obviously going to need a spot to sit and watch it, and that's what you have right here. In this super slide in the 26CJ, you have the jackknife sofa and the dinette. Now, the jackknife sofa here, you'll see, does have removable armrests, as well as some storage behind it. It's offset from the wall, so you can throw some items back there. And of course, the main reason it's offset is to allow for everything to drop down so that you have some additional sleeping space. And as a 6-foot adult, I can almost lay out here. I mean, you know, I have to curl up a little bit, but honestly, this isn't bad. You know, if I was offered this as a guest, I would probably stay the night. Now, if you don't want guests, you don't have to tell them, but, you know, if you have, if the kiddos bring an additional friend, or, you know, maybe your grandparents and you're bringing the, you know, the grandkids along, you have some extra spots for your kids to sleep. Right next to that is going to be, as I mentioned, the dinette. Now, obviously this is a place to sit and eat, but the thing I really like about it, right, is just the size. I mean, You can see I have plenty of room here for another person. I've sat in a lot of dinettes that are supposed to be for 4, and they are just extremely tight. And as someone who really enjoys board games, I enjoy having a dedicated table space. The windows in here too. Not only do you have that huge window we saw in the kitchen, but these windows are massive and let in so much natural light. And I personally really like how they finish them off. It's simple, right? You know, you don't have just these big old chunky things hanging down the side. It's just nice and simple. And then one of the best parts about this particular dinette in the 26 CJ, look at that storage. I mean, that's huge, huge, huge storage. And that's not the only place we have it. I mean, that's gonna be a theme we kind of see throughout, and we'll continue to see that in just a minute. But again, big storage underneath that dinette. Then we come to the back to the rear double over double bunks. Now, again, some things I really like here. One is no wasted space. Look at what they've done. They used this and they gave you just all this additional storage. These bins do come with it, by the way, and I know they're not expensive, but the fact that they designed it to fit these and they included them so you don't have to go and find something is, in my opinion, just kind of a step above what a lot of the competition is doing. So hats off to them for giving you all this additional storage. Built-in ladder here as well. Plus the top is padded. So that way, if you're getting up here, you know, your knees aren't on something hard. If as an adult trying to climb up there, I think that is, again, just one of those little touches that really goes a long way and shows that they're thinking through the design. You have double over double bunks here. You can see the window, both top and bottom. So that, again, letting in that light, getting that airflow. You also have electrical outlets and USB ports. But probably the most impressive thing about this bunk, once again, is going to be the storage. I lift this up, you can see this is on rollers, but look at the size of that storage tray, folks. I mean, that is massive. This is something I really haven't seen in any other bunk model, and I think this was just really smart design. You know, I mean, it's kind of free floating back here, so you can kind of move it around, but and just kind of lift it up to be able to pull it out, but the fact it's on rollers, man, that makes it just really easy to use. One of the most important questions, in my opinion, when we're talking RV bathroom is, can you stand in the shower? And as you can see, at 6 foot tall, because of the skylight, I can. You might be able to be 6'1", but you'll probably be rubbing on the top. You do have to stand underneath the skylight if you're, 6 foot or taller, as you can see here. But again, it spans pretty much the whole space that you would stand. You have shelves on both sides here, but the more important thing for me is the fact you have a high threshold. And why that's important is because that way the curtain will stay in the shower and not fall out, pouring water all over your floor. You also see robe hooks as soon as you step out right here, which is great. And right up above that is a 14-inch fan, and that's going to be important because not only will it help get moisture out, but it'll also help get odor out a lot quicker too. So if you have to sit down and do your business, you'll notice as a 6 foot adult person here, I have plenty of space for my shoulders and legs. It is a plastic bowl, so that's something that, I'd probably swap out in a few years for a porcelain, but again, use it until essentially you don't like it anymore. You will notice the entry door here right into the bathroom. Now, I will say 2 things. One, I have a lot of people that freak out about an entry door in the bathroom. Look, you can deadbolt it, nobody's coming in, okay? The thing I do like about it is if you do want guests to be able to, or if guests need to use the bathroom or the kids, they can just come right in the bathroom, do it, and leave. However, with this one in particular, I would probably get the thin shade. Lippert offers a shade right here for the window to cover up this window. I probably would for a little bit of privacy, mainly at night. In daytime, that's going to be tinted, no one will notice, but at night, it might just be a little bit nicer. You will see right here, mirrored medicine cabinet right down underneath that. Massive sink here. This is definitely larger than what you normally find in a travel trailer. Great for washing hands, brushing teeth. You're not gonna get the spillage. You'll also see over to the side is your control for the tankless water heater. So that is on demand, near limitless hot water. So, no more 5-minute showers. You can now take 20-minute showers without any issues. And then right underneath, you'll see some additional storage. So you have a spot for toilet paper, black tank chemical, and everything else you'd put in your bathroom. When it comes to the bedroom in an RV, a lot of people want a king bed, and here it is, provided by the Campsite Reserve 26 CJ. This is an RV Camp King, so it is going to be slightly short, but again, you get the width, which is what people are looking for. Over to one side, you will see the nightstand as well as the single plug inverter here. So if you have a CPAP machine, you can plug that in and be able to run it off of batteries. Over on the other side is the wardrobe up top, additional storage down below, plus you have a shelf behind the wardrobe, so you have a convenient spot to put cell phones. And then up over top, you have the big overhead storage that is deeper than what you normally find in most travel trailers. Windows on both sides, so you have cross ventilation if you don't want to run the AC. And they even put some additional storage right here at the foot of the bed. Speaking of foot of the bed, underneath the king bed is even more storage. So the one thing I can definitely say that is a theme in the 26 CJ is there is so much storage in here. And lastly, if you want to be able to watch TV before bed, you have a spot where you can mount it. Let's start with the outside of the Campsite Reserve 26 CJ. Starting off right up front with a power tongue jack. That's great, saves you a couple $100 from having to put it in yourself, and it's just super effective to have. Right behind that are two 20-pound propane tanks with your cover, rails for your battery, plus a battery disconnect, which I always enjoy. It just makes it so much more convenient to just kill that little draw on the battery. You do have the smooth aluminum front, which a lot of manufacturers are starting to put on, but I think the bigger deal is when you come around to the side, because this right here is going to be the best aluminum exterior you can currently buy for any RV. It's a lot thicker than what the other kind of like rolled aluminum is. Plus it just looks a whole heck of a lot nicer with like the bigger panels. If we take a look at the pass-through storage, couple things. One is the fact it does have a magnetic catch, and if we look inside there, you'll see there's a spot to be able to hang a few things. You do have full pass-through storage. It's lit, and over to the side is the 30-amp solar charge controller, because up on the roof, this one has a 100-watt solar panel that is going to be standard. Now, that's not going to run a bunch of stuff in the RV. However, it will make sure that your battery stays topped off. If we drop down underneath, this is something that's really cool. This one has the quick drop stabilizer jacks on it. Now, I think the name is slightly misleading because I don't think it's necessarily that much faster than the power jacks, but it is still more expensive. The main reason being is the fact that it has a much more robust screw in there. Your standard manual jacks aren't meant to be used with a cordless drill. This one is. So you can take your drill, you can zip those down super quick. You don't have to worry about them breaking. That is how they are designed. So those are definitely, again, going to be currently the most expensive jacks in the industry. Just one of those small things that are nice to see. You also see this door right here as I open this guy up. You have the refrigerator outside. Love this. Anytime you have a family RV, a lot of times you get an outside kitchen. Normally it's going to be underneath the bunk, but they kind of shifted this one up front, and I'm not mad about it. You get the refrigerator there, plus the pull-out griddle, of course, propane quick connect right underneath. Bear in mind that, you know, if you want to bring like your own Blackstone or Coleman grill, something like that, you can use whatever you would like. Moving to the entryway, you get the Lippert Solid Step 4.0. The thing about the 4.0 is it is upgraded, and I personally really like this too. The reason being, you have levers. It used to be pins you'd have to pop out and put back in, which were a pain. Now, you get these levers. You can just pull this lever, move it to wherever you need it, lock it back in place, you're good to go. You can do the same thing on the other side. You'll see I didn't quite put that one back where it should be. There we are. Both doors on here are going to be upgraded, which I like. You have the tempered glass doors, as I kind of showed you in the bathroom. Excuse me. The door here is thin shade ready. Both of them are, so if you want to get the thin shade on both, you can. Again, I'd probably recommend it in the bathroom, but I personally really like these doors. I think they look really nice, and because it is tinted, you can't even really tell that there's a window on the outside during the day. You also get the foldable grab handle here too. Up top is your power awning with LED light strip, and take a look at the windows. In case you didn't notice, these are really cool. They've gone to square windows. Campsite Reserve is one of the first RVs to do it. Now, a lot of your higher end fifth wheels are using these same windows. On top of that, they have excellent tint. which, you know, again, not only is excellent for privacy, but more importantly, in my opinion, is the fact that it helps reflect heat, keeping things inside a little bit cooler. For entertainment outside, you'll have a couple speakers. Those are connected to that multimedia center inside. That one is Bluetooth capable. If you want TV, here are your hookups. Here is the mount. You can actually use the same TV if you want from inside, disconnect it and bring it out here. But again, because it is on the pivot hinge with the pantry, might be a little bit of a pain to be able to unplug everything every time. So if you want, you can just have a dedicated one for out here too. If we take a look down below, you can see the aluminum alloy wheels. Love that. They're going to stay nice looking for longer because they're going to be more corrosion resistant. You will also see a little tire pressure monitor on there, which is going to be an extra bonus. As for the tires themselves, these are 205/75 R14 tires. If we take a look at the axle underneath, this one is going to be an underslung axle. So the RV is going to sit a little bit lower, giving you a lower center of gravity, just making it a little bit more stable while towing. You'll see black tank flush right over here, so that way you can quickly and easily wash out the black tank. That secondary entrance into the bathroom, again, as we mentioned, the door, the thin shade there, again, do recommend, but completely up to you. And then around the back, you can see the square tubular bumper here. Up top, this is something that is definitely unexpected in this price point, and that's the fact that it comes with a backup camera. Normally it's prepped. This one comes with it. Huge fan of that. Over to this side there is your ladder prep, so you can buy the telescoping ladder and be able to climb up onto the fully walkable roof. Then as we come around to the off-camp side, you will see the 30-amp power supply is hanging out right there. And because our bunks are on the off-camp side, you saw they still had a spot for an outside kitchen, which I think was fantastic. But we still get this extra storage. So not only do we have that huge pull-out drawer inside, you have this additional external storage as well. I'm telling you, the 26 CJ has so much storage. Outside light right here, water connections, outside shower with hot and cold water access. Right down below are your terminations with both your black and gray tank valve. Folks, as far as a family camper goes, with tons of storage, excellent amenities, and a great price point, it's tough to beat this 2025 Campsite Reserve 26 CJ. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and until next time, we'll see you.